my name is Tas and I'm a physical therapist, I'm a judoka, an athlete, sometimes an actor, and also right now content creator. And I want to share with you my story and about how I was able to manage a lot of different interests and activity in my life. So the period where I was the most overwhelmed with things to do was definitely the beginning of 2023 because I was doing internship to becoming a physical therapist. I was doing the last exams for my university, and at the same time I was writing my thesis, also for university, training 5 to 6 times a week for judo, and I started to take acting classes. So I was doing a lot of shit. I was very busy. I was a lot of stuff that was filling my day, and it was very overwhelming for me. It was kind of difficult because at a certain point I reached a certain level of burnout, but in the end I was able to manage all of these things. I was able to compete in all the competition that I had in that season to keep my weight in check, because in judo you also have to remain in a certain weight class, and I was able to graduate that year. But I have something that I learned in that period of time, which is I can endure more than I believed was possible. I've learned also how to manage my time like a pro and how to use efficiently every hour of the day, because when you have to do all of this crap, you gotta use every minute in the best way possible. And also, the thing that I understood, actually going in burnout because I was doing too much stuff, is that you can do almost anything, but you cannot do everything at the same time. So you gotta do some sacrifices. And if you're watching this kind of video, if you have a very polymath-like mind, you want to do a lot of different things, but you don't know how to actually juggle all of these different interests, I would like to share with you my system that I used to that I developed over the years, and I actually reversed engineered thinking about it, and I want to convey that to you so that you can use that to manage your time more efficiently. The strategy that I would like to use divides in 4 phases, which are prioritize, manage, sacrifice, and optimize. So the first phase would be prioritize. And in prioritize, what we need to do is to create a hierarchy of goals. What do I mean? By every action that you take, you are trying to reach a certain goal. Maybe you are trying to become fitter, maybe you are trying to make more money, you are trying to get that promotion or to get the number of that girl, etc., etc. You have to make your goals clear, okay? You have to have your priorities very, very straight. And once you have written down your goals, you gotta put them into a hierarchy. What you want to achieve, what you want to reach, all right? And once you have your goals straight, for example, let me give me a second that I pull up my list of goals. So I'll make an example about myself. So my interests and passions at the moment are writing, content creation, I love acting, I love fitness and weightlifting, judo/Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I like to read. But these are a lot of stuff, okay? What I want you to ask is, what are your goals at the moment, okay? What are you pursuing right now? And you gotta have it straighter. If you don't have your goals straight, please take a moment and write down what you want to achieve. My personal goals at the moment are being able to monetize my writing and content so that I can quit my job as a physical therapist. And the second, it would be as getting paid as a theater actor. So I want to become also professional in acting. These are my 2 main goals. And once you have your goals clear, you have your priorities straight, okay? You have the activities that will bring you closer to your goals and the activities that you would like to do for leisure time, the activities that you perform because you feel good doing so. And so you have a distinction between goal activities and leisure activities. And this will help you to create a hierarchy of what is more important to you. In fact, the goal activities comes, of course, before your leisure activities. And with goals activity, I usually have to push my willpower in order to do them, even if I don't feel like it, because there is an ultimate goal or result to reach. While with leisure activities, I'm much more easy on them. If I skip, for example, my reading habit, it's not a big deal because it's not a performance to me. It's a pleasure that I want to concede to myself. But I don't want to skip the activities related to my to the goals that I want to reach. Okay, and by the way, I don't want to say that you have to transform your hobbies into a grind. All right, you need to have goals that you want to reach, but try to keep it playful. Don't try to go into the sigma male grind that motherfucker. Otherwise, it would be much more difficult to remain consistent. So have a goal in mind, keep your priorities straight, but keep it playful. So to give you an example, my hierarchy of activities in that case would be first, content creation and writing. Second would be acting and all acting related activities. Third, it would be judo, Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Fourth, it would be weightlifting, fitness. And fifth would be reading. So, as I said before, content creation and acting in my personal example are more important because there is a goal, a performance goal associated to it. I will need to decide what to prioritize, they will come first. The second stage is manage. What we are going to manage, we are going to manage our time and priorities. Once you have your list of priorities, we need to assign a specific time block to every activity during our week. So I will guide you into a very brief time management course. So the first thing that you have to do is open your Google Calendar app, and the app that you would prefer to use. I know there is Notion, I know there is other kind of softwares that will help you to make your time managed, but choose the one that you prefer. I personally like Google Calendar, it's very good. Also, sorry, I lost myself in my thoughts. So, first of all, I want you to set block times of activities that you don't have control over, like your job, like your university lectures, for example, whatever kind of commitment that you have to the outside world and you don't have ability to choose over. Okay, so for example, I would assign the blocks where I'm working in the clinic, for example, or where I have some private clients that need to take care of. This will give you an insight about when you can place the blocks of your activities. So I do that before work or I do it after work. So you already have an idea of how to structure your day, even just from a visual perspective. And I use different colors for every block because I'm kinda autistic, and also I like to see nice different colors near one to another in my Google Calendar. So I personally use yellow for my as I said, job activities. So here you have an example of what I do on a day-to-day basis. After that, you have assigned your work block activities, you get assigned your, I call them basic life function activities. So basically eating and sleeping. So have a wake up time, a sleep time, and a meal timing. Take care of your physical and mental health, otherwise you will burn out as myself. So don't neglect your sleep, don't neglect your nutrition, because these are important to restore your energy and perform better the next day. Otherwise you will just drain yourself and it will be absolutely useless. So I assign in green the wake up time and the sleep time. I will put them in the editing right here. And I also added this one in orange, which is on Saturday night, which is the time where I would like to hang out with my friends, socialize and decompress, all of that shit. Now, you have your schedule, you have your basic life function, now you gotta assign the blocks of the correlated activities. So for content creation, for example, I would like to assign 1.5 hours of deep work in the morning before I start my job. And on Saturday, I will assign the video recording and editing. I also have specific time blocks to DM people, create connection, network, whatever. And for acting, I usually have one evening lesson per week, and some exercises for my voice that I need to do on a daily basis. And I'm pretty inconsistent with them right now, but I will improve later. So for every block, assign it on your list, and you will have something like that. The lunch breaks and the dinners are in blue, but it's the same, you get the idea. So this is what you should end like. Also, I added some physical training. You can see upper body conditioning, strength. Just to give you an idea, you don't have to copy me, but just to let you see what it would look like in the end. So once you have done that, you have your time managed. What could happen to you once you have your priorities straight, you assigned every time block? You might notice that You cannot pull everything of your priority into your list of time because you are a limited man, you are a limited creature. You cannot do everything. You cannot do everything, especially at the same time. You gotta make some sacrifices. So, what you cannot put on your schedule, you sacrifice it. Okay, you sacrifice, you wipe it off. If there is an item at the end of your list that you cannot physically put into a time block to perform, you need to sacrifice. Otherwise, it would be just a distraction. It wouldn't help you to move closer to your goals. Okay, just wipe it off. This is what sacrifice is. So, if you need to sacrifice activities, do that. If you find yourself wondering, oh, should I sacrifice that? Or maybe this is important. Oh, fuck, I don't want to sacrifice this thing because I really want, this is really important to me. You have to reevaluate your priorities. So you gotta repeat step 1 and you gotta repeat step 2. So if you find yourself unable to sacrifice the last items of your step, there are two possibilities. You are either unable to make sacrifice because you don't want to sacrifice part of your potential, which could be true. I'm like you, I understand what your concerns are, so you don't want to sacrifice your potential, and this is another topic that we could maybe discuss in a one-to-one call. Or you maybe understood that the thing that you place last in your priority list, maybe it's more important than you believe. So you gotta repeat the step 1 and reevaluate your priorities. So repeat the step 1 and the step 2 of time management until you found the things that you wish to sacrifice and the things that you wish to keep for you to keep in your day-to-day routine. So repeat step 1 and 2 until you have a schedule with activities correlated to your goals, leisure activities, 8 hours of sleep, and at least 1 meal scheduled per day. Please don't sacrifice your eating. The 4th step would be optimize. So if you're expecting to have some strange biohacking techniques when you eat beta-alanine in the morning, you give 3 slaps on your face and do a 360 on the place, I'm not going to give you that. There is no secret technique. There is no secret to become hyper productive. There is no secret to high performance. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but it doesn't work like that. I wish there is a secret to do that. The reality is the only thing that you should optimize your activities for the schedule is sustainability. So once you have tried your schedule, once you've done that for like 2 weeks, let's say, see what is necessary to change in order to adapt your schedule for trying to stick with it for at least 6 months, 8 months, 1 year. You gotta be sustainable. Your schedule have to be sustainable in order for you to get closer to your goals, to not burn out, and to enjoy your activities. So about that, to optimization sustainability, I would like to remind you a couple of things. First of all, your brain adapts. Even if it's very difficult, even if you have a very high intensity, high volume of activities that you're doing during the day, your brain forms new networks. Your brain is plastic. It forms new connection. It improves and the kind of thoughts that you're making, and they are more difficult right now, will become automatic in the process of couple of months. So if it's very hard right now, it doesn't mean it will be hard 3 months from now. I remember when I just started recording videos, for me it was just fucking headache. I couldn't talk to a camera. It's also because I'm talking in a language which is not my first language, and it was very hard for me in the beginning. Right now, which is already more than 1 year that I'm posting consistently, I'm able to speak nearly without script to a camera, okay? So since it was difficult in the beginning, it's not so difficult right now. So things will generally get better. Remind this to yourself when you find yourself in a difficult situation. The second thing is that for your brain to adapt, you need to rest. So when you are scheduling, don't cut off sleep. This is very important. Your brain becomes more plastic and improves during sleep. It's just like building muscle in the gym. If you push yourself in the gym and you don't sleep, you're not going to improve, because the anabolic process that builds the muscle fibers on your pecs, on your quads, whatever, is built during sleep. Don't cut off sleep. This is very, very important. And in order to extract as much as you possibly can from every activity, it's better to enter into flow state while doing it. So flow state is basically the state of optimal experience, is when you're completely absorbed into an activity. There are no thoughts, no ruminations in your brain, because you're completely centered into what you're doing in the present moment. And this is beautiful. The more you pass time in the flow state, the more your performance increase, and the more your happiness and general life satisfaction increase. And it's not me saying that, it's various psychologists and experts and people that have studied the science of well-being. And the science of well-being says clearly, the more flow you have, the better your life is. And I've made a video, I believe I've made different videos and articles about flow state. I will link them in the description for you to watch and learn more, so that you can trigger flow and follow your schedule more easier. So the video is over. I hope that this was useful. If you have found value in this video, if you have found value in the information that I provided to you, and you would like to apply those principles on your more specific tailored situation, you can book a one-on-one call, free call with me, so that we can look at what are your problems, what are your difficulties into applying this to your schedule, and we can find a solution together. I would be much happy to help you, okay? So the video is over. Aim upward as always.